Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel and another Monday mix. Today is the 27th of January. Now, as per usual, I've got some coins to show you that I've been buying. We've got a little bit of a trivia section later on, which might actually be getting changed in the future. I will mention that. And also I've got some more coins to show you at the end, and you might even see some snooker gloves as well. But first, let you get some administration out of the way. Please hit the like button, subscribe if you are new to the channel. It does help the channel immensely. It also helps the videos get pushed towards people who might be interested in coins. And obviously, if you leave a comment down below, I will reply to every single one of them. Now, having said that, it obviously transpires that the content isn't to everybody's liking, because I woke up one morning last week and there was just 10 subscribers that disappeared all in one go. So I don't know what happened there. I don't know whether YouTube's been having a cull or what. But anyway, we'll get started with the first coin I've been buying. And it is the RAF Lightning 2. Now this, I've been after this for absolutely ages. Now, because I got into coin collecting fairly late, the 2018 sets had all gone, so you could technically only get them via third parties. And they have been going for absolutely silly money on eBay. I've seen some for £40, £50. Now, according to this £2 guide, the RF Lightning 2 is between £30 and £40. I did miss out on one, but like I said, it was going for absolutely silly money. However, I found a site where I could just buy it now for free postage, and it cost £29.99, which I was reckoning on around about £30, so not too bad. So as you can see, miniature figure of 50,107. There was a 5 coin set of this to celebrate the RAF's 100th anniversary. And just bringing me coin album. By the way, I got these from Amazon. The Uncle Paul coin albums, that's what they're called. You can just search for that. So I've got about 5 or 6 of these. I've got some with £2. I think there's 20 pences in the back of this one. I've got a couple for 50 pences. I've got one for 5s and 10 pences, one for pennies and 2s, etc. So let's find the section that we need. I've got all the coins now up to date apart from those two at the bottom. The Britannias for 21 and 22, which were the circulated ones. Nobody's ever seen any. But at the top here we've got the RAF one, which I'm going to take out that little label and we'll pop that one in, and that now brings everything up to date apart from those. I mean, I do have the other Britannias in the brilliant uncirculated sets. That goes up to HMS Belfast, but obviously we've got the George Orwell coin, which I do have that as well. I'll be coming to that a bit later on in the video. The next one is this one, Milner's Tower from 2013. Now this was again another date I was missing. This one is an AB die, which is just down at the bottom there. And this cost include, well, it was a free postage. It was £3.85, which it's normally around about £3 to buy one of these coins on eBay. So if you take into consideration second class postage is 85p, it's about right. But that was a date I was missing. I very nearly made a mistake of getting a 2011 because well, firstly I'd missed the cut-off point and it had been sold and it only went for just over £1. But as it turned out, I already had the date. So this is the Isle of Man album. I did show you this some time ago. So let's move to the section where we need to have the Milner's Towers. So as you can see, I've got the 2011, 2012, and then we've got the 2013 to pop in there. So that's another date. Obviously the 4, 5, 6 and 7, they're all really rare dates to get. You can buy them online, but they're going again for ridiculous prices. So I'm just going to move that one to one side because we will be needing that Isle of Man book a little bit later on. But staying with the Isle of Man, I've managed to pick up another couple of Christmas coins. This one is from 1985. It does have an AA die, which it's a bit hard to see, but it is just under the wing of the plane. This is a de Havilland, I think they call it. This one is from 1985. It is the larger style 50p, so it's 30mm in diameter. Obviously we don't have any vintage figures for that. The designer was Leslie Lindsay. I've got the Raphael McClough portrait on the obverse. Just put that one there, because the next one, another Christmas coin, and this is the electric tram. Quite intricate, because you can see just in the background it says Laxey. I think it's supposed to be Laxey Junction. And we've got the little cat there again. Really a feature of all the coins. This one was an AA die, which you can just say just to the left of the cat. This one is from 1989. So that's two more Christmas coins to go into the collection. But according to this 50p guide, those two are worth between £9 and £15 each. I bought the 1985 one for £7, and I got that one for £8.50, so it was round about just less than the guide price. Now, those two were actually won on an auction, as was this one. Now, I won this one for £7.70, was free postage, and according to the book that I've got, it says between £6 and £8 in an uncirculated condition, which of course this is going to be. It's from 2024. Now, as you know, last year we had the 80th anniversary of the D-Day Normandy landings, and this one is from Isle of Man. So we've got the Glyn Davies portrait of King Charles on the obverse, and the reverse, this was designed by Craig Wilson. Now, as you can see, it's gold. It is 0.999 gold plated Cupid nickel, so it's not pure gold, unfortunately. But the size and the weight is the size of a standard 50p. But the design is absolutely fantastic. As I mean, you can see close up, you've got little bits of barbed wire there at the top, just above the day. You've got two soldiers there with the rifles. You've got ships in the background, planes with parachutists coming out. There's a tank just to the left. Some more barbed wire, and where we've got the Normandy landings bit, you've got some more little parachutes either side. But that was a great pick-up. That £7.70. Not bad at all. Really pleased with that purchase. So I mentioned at the beginning that things were going to be changing regarding the trivia. I found that it was taking me far too long to research stuff. Plus, a lot of people weren't probably interested in the trivia anyway. But I'm only going to be doing it if it is actually coin related from sort of next week. So if there isn't any trivia, that means I cannot find anything that's coin related. So we'll kick off with the number one song on this day. And I'm going to go back to the glam rock years for this one. In this case, 1973, where we saw The Sweet with Blockbuster at number one. Now, believe it or not, it was their first and only UK number one single. It was the first week out of a 5-week run at the top. The group consisted of lead singer Brian Connolly, bass guitarist Steve Priest, guitarist Andy Scott, and drummer Mick Tucker. Now, they were originally formed in 1968 by Connolly and Tucker. They were then known as The Sweet Shop. They recruited Steve Priest, and they had various other guitarists who left before Andy Scott arrived in 1970. They were the best known out of the band. A few other additional members arrived in 1978 before Connolly left in 1979 as alcoholism was affecting his live performances. The band eventually disbanded in 1982, although Tucker and Scott formed their own version of Sweet in 1985. Sadly, only Andy Scott remains now from the well-known foursome. Connolly died in 1997, Tucker in 2002, and Steve Priest passed away in 2020. Steve Priest also set his own version of Sweet up, but because the Sweet name was actually held by Andy Scott and Tucker, he actually called his band Steve Priest's Sweet. And although Steve Priest came across as fairly camp in his performances, he actually was married twice. Now, born on this day, on the 27th of January 1850, was the Captain Edward John Smith, who was mainly remembered as being the captain of the ill-fated passenger ship Titanic, which actually sank on the 15th of April 1912 following an iceberg collision. Although he was a well-liked captain, he was involved in several other mishaps involving ships he was commanding, such as running aground and collisions with other sea traffic. Also born on the 27th of January 1832 was Charles Lutwidge Dodgson, better known by his pen name of Lewis Carroll. He was best known for his works Alice's Adventures in Wonderland, Alice Through the Looking Glass, and the poem Hunting of the Snark, amongst others. He was the eldest son and the third oldest child in a family of 7 girls and 4 boys to Frances Jane Lutwidge, who was the wife of the Reverend Charles Dodgson. In 2021, the Royal Mint produced 2 £5 coins to commemorate these books, both designed by Fionn Gwilym, and here she is. The first one, Alice Through the Looking Glass, had a mintage figure of 14,425, which consisted of a brilliant uncirculated pack of 6,932 and trade packaging of 7,493. The other one, the Alice's Adventures in Wonderland, had a mintage of 16,472. The brilliant uncirculated pack was 8,976 and the trade packaging was 7,496. Now, I did actually manage to pick this one up. I can't remember how I did it, but I know it was very, very cheap. I think it might have been only about £5 or £6, I think, that I got it for. This is the one with the Alice's Adventures in Wonderland with the Cheshire Cat in the tree. I don't have the other £5 coin. But in addition to that, the Isle of Man had 2 sets of coins. There was 5 coins in each set. This is the Alice's Adventures in Wonderland. I think I might have well shown you this some time ago. So starting from the top, we've got Alice and the Cheshire Cat, Mad Hatter, the Queen of Hearts, and the White Rabbits. And it tells you a bit there about the design at the beginning, at the bottom there, Stephen Lee and Matt Tyndall. And the obverse was done by Jodie Clark. And if you want to read that bit on the left hand side, you can just pause the video up and read it at your leisure. And then we've got the Jodie Clark portrait on the back. So that was one set. Now, going back to the Isle of Man, there was another 5 coins. Hopefully I can find them all. There we go. So we've got the white queen, red queen, Tweedledum and Tweedledee, which obviously they were on the other £5 coin. March Hare and Alice again. So I'll just quickly put that to one side. We've definitely finished with that one now. And I'll move these to one side as well. So finishing off, as you know, Jude S tends to find some really nice coins for us now and again. And she managed to pick up this lovely Gibraltar half crown. So this cost me £4, and I believe it's going for about, well, around about £9.30 if it was uncirculated condition, which it is. Now there's two versions of this one. There's one that's actually pure silver, or in this case one that is 0.999 silver plated Cupid and nickel. So if we zoom in, we've got 4 St Edward's crowns, and then we've got the Lions of England at the north and south ends. Got the Irish harp to the west, and the Lion Rampant of Scotland on the right hand side. They celebrate the 90th birthday of Queen Elizabeth II. So around the edge we've got Novem, Decennis, Glorious, Paractus, and that is Latin for 9 decades gloriously accomplished. Designer was Joaquin Jimenez. As you can see, it's a half crown. And the only reason I knew this was not the pure silver one, this one weighed 14 point, I think it was 0.5 grams. Now it says 14.6 on new, mister. There was 500,000 minted. And the other one, which was slightly heavier, the pure silver, that was 15.55 grams. But that one also has on the edge an issue number out of a 20,000 mintage. So right on the edge of the coin you would have had a little stamp of the number of the issue. But I think that's really nice, that one. Very good of Jude to find that one. And we've got something from Change Checker. And it's the latest £2 coin, George Orwell. Got round the middle there, Big Brother is watching you. And I did mention last week, it just looks, the eye looks a bit like the Millennium Bridge at Gateshead. Martin Jan's portrait of King Charles. And we've got a Change Checker trading card now. I've only got 2 of the new ones. I don't know if there's any more being issued, we'll find out. And this says First World War Army, which is what I've already got. The only other one that I know is in existence is the Shakespeare comedies for this set. So that'll be a spare. Now, in addition to this one, Jude has been down to the Royal Mint, and she picked up not one striking one, but 2. So as the song in Greece goes, oh well, oh well, oh well, I'll tell you more, so don't go very far, I'll tell you more, one of these is a star. And this is where the snooker gloves come in. So we'll have a look at this first one. Read the bits inside. Life and Legacy of George Orwell. Bits there and the specs on the bottom. So as you can see, we've got Cooper nickel, 12 grams, 28.4 mil. The edge inscription, there was truth and there was untruth. Of this designer, Martin Jennings, and the reverse designer was Henry Gray. So let's have a look at this edge inscription. Right, so it's a very weak strike on that H, isn't it? So there was untruth, and there was truth. Apparently this was a scene from the 1984 novel. I'm just going to leave that to one side. I know Jude did say it's difficult to get them back out. Now that was the second one that Jude picked up. This was the first one. She was one of the first of the people to go on a tour on the Monday morning, because the previous day the Flowers of the Nation £2 coin finished. That was on the 19th of January, so from the 20th was the George Orwell. But the Mint had made an absolute ricket. As you can see, the edge inscription here. So in Servitio Omnium, which is the edge inscription on that Flowers of the Nation coin. And that edge inscription stands for in service for all. Now, as I understand it, there's less than 100, probably around about 74 of the edge inscription errors. So a lot of people saying, is it a marketing ploy by the Royal Mint, or could it be that they've just made an absolute ricket? Well, obviously, Big Brother wasn't watching them at the time. He must have been on the tea break, because the sort of blanks that had the other edge inscription for the Flowers of the Nation, they must have had a few left over. So they've obviously not realised, and then stamped the George Orwell coin instead. It's possible that the Royal Mint has just made an absolute ricket, because, as I understand it, there was an email sent to everybody that had been on the tours, offering them the chance of a free replacement to the correct one, or they could just keep the old one. Now, who in their right minds would want to get rid of, technically, a mule coin? I mean, if there's less than 100 knocking about, I mean, one went straight onto eBay and sold for about £150. And I have seen one offered at 500, which I don't think they might get that. It's been reduced, well, 475 it was to me, just because I'd looked at it. But there's no chance. But I know Jude got one, and as it turned out, she sent me one as well. But I've paid, obviously, the cost to Jude for the actual strike you run. So there was no, has anybody else got one of those? I know Bo Selector had, and I think Trev at Coins Select, he was on one of the early tours, and he managed to pick one up as well. So it's a no-brainer. You're not going to give that back to the Royal Mint. So that's it for today, folks. Thank you for watching, and don't forget, please hit the like button and subscribe. And until the next time, keep on hunting, enjoy yourself, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.